Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Jay Williams. I'm with the Nomad Advisory Group team at Holborn Pass, and we're based out of Beverly Hills, California. Holborn Pass is the #1 agent by volume for Portugal Golden Visa applications, which is a residency by investment program. And this is exactly the kind of program we work with every single day. And right now, you may have heard, but back on April 1st, Portugal made a huge announcement regarding proposed changes to their nationality law. And depending on who you are, this is either a huge inconvenience or potentially a massive opportunity. So today in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what is being proposed, what may stay the same, and then most importantly, whether the Portugal Golden Visa is still one of the smartest pathways to an EU passport here in 2026. So please stick around because there's one thing that most people are completely missing about these new proposed changes, and it could potentially save you years of waiting. So a quick note before we dive in, this video is specifically for individuals who are strongly considering EU residency as well as ultimately pursuing the citizenship pathway through the Portugal Golden Visa program. However, if you're just curious about moving to Portugal, this video is still going to be useful, but specifically the numbers and the timelines we're going to be talking about are aimed at individuals who are pursuing the Golden Visa program. So with that, let's get right into it. So first, what are these proposed changes from April 1st? The big headline is that Portugal is looking to extend the citizenship timeline from 5 years all the way up to 10 years. 10 years. So I know what many people are thinking is that it sounds terrible. And honestly, it does at first glance. It's clearly a longer wait. But here's what the news articles are not saying to you. Is that it's still a proposed change. It is not yet law. And even if it passes, which there's no guarantee that it will, the core structure of the Golden Visa program remains intact. The investment threshold is still 500,000 euros for approved funds. No increase has been announced regarding that. And here's the part that actually matters most for investors, is that at the end of year 5, you can divest your investment and then apply for permanent residency. You do not have to keep your capital tied up for 10 years. You get your money back at the end of year 5. You can stay in Portugal indefinitely without all of these renewals. The only thing that changes under the proposed rules is the wait for the passport, the citizenship, not your residency rights and not your investment timeline. And that's very important to point out. So given all of that, why are investors still choosing Portugal despite all of the delays, despite all of the changes historically? And I want to give you 3 reasons that I think are genuinely compelling. Number 1, at the end of the day, the EU passport is still the prize. Portugal remains one of the very few Golden Visa programs in the world that leads directly to an EU passport, which, by the way, that passport offers visa-free or visa on-arrival access to over 186 countries. Most competing programs only give you residency, whereas Portugal ultimately can grant you citizenship, which offers a completely different level of mobility. Number 2 is the entry point is still 500,000 euros for a qualifying investment. And again, no announcements have been made regarding changing that. And when you compare that to other programs like the Spanish Golden Visa, that's no longer available, or looking at some of the other programs that increase the investment requirement. And then number 3, I think, is getting your money back at the end of year 5. I know I said that, but I think it's important to really drive that home. The ability to divest your investment at the end of year 5 and then apply for permanent residency. Most programs require for you to maintain your investment until citizenship, like the case for Italy. But Portugal continues to offer flexibility that really no other program can offer. Now, I think it's important. Let's get practical. Listen, who should actually be pursuing these programs right now? And I'm a very transparent, very straightforward kind of person. I think that you should apply now if you're someone who wants to potentially lock in under the current rules before anything changes. Applications historically that were submitted were actually processed under the existing framework. Acting now could make the difference between a 5-year and a 10-year citizenship timeline, but we don't know that to be certain. You may also want to apply now if EU permanent residency at the end of year 5 is genuinely valuable to you, even if citizenship takes longer. For many of our clients, the permanent residency alone justifies their investment and decision to proceed. But you really should consider waiting if you're in the early research phase and haven't structured your finances for this kind of investment, because rushing in without proper planning can actually create more problems than it solves. Oh, and by the way, if you want a clear summary of everything I've just covered, I actually put together a Portugal Golden Visa fact sheet where you can download that for free at our website at nomadag.com. And I'm also going to put the website in the description box below. It's going to go over the investment requirements, the timeline, residency rights, all consolidated in one place. But before I wrap up, I want to just quickly flag 3 mistakes that we commonly see investors make when they are looking at exploring the program. It's number 1, simply waiting too long, hoping that there's going to be more clarity. The proposed changes can actually pass with very little notice. So the clarity rarely comes before a deadline when dealing with the Portugal Golden Visa program. Number 2, choosing a fund purely on yield. The fund needs to qualify for the Golden Visa purposes first. And not every fund out there on the market is compliant, and we help you sort through that. And then I think number 3 is underestimating the residency requirement. You do have to spend a minimum of 7 days per year in Portugal to maintain your residency status. So it's not a completely hands-off experience. But number 1, I think that when you look at the Portugal Golden Visa overall, is it still worth it? Objectively and honestly, yes, but for the right investor, for the right structure, and at the right time, and it should align with their goals. And it's important to know that the proposed changes right now did not kill the program. It's simply looking to shift the timeline, but the residency path and the investment terms do remain intact and compelling. But listen, if you want to dig a bit more into this, go over to nomadag.com, download the Portugal Golden Visa fact sheet. It's free, and it'll give you a solid foundation before you make any decisions. And then if you're ready to have a conversation or talk through more about what's the right move for you and your family and your specific situation, we'll talk about your goals, tax position, family circumstances. We offer a completely free consultation here at Nomad Advisory Group. Same place, nomadag.com. There's no pressure, no selling, just a straight conversation about whether this program makes sense for you and for your family. But please, if you found this information helpful, please hit your like and subscribe button. And our goal is to put out regular content on a regular basis as it relates to global residency and citizenship programs around the world. We look forward to keeping you updated on the changes or the proposed changes as it relates to the Portugal Golden Visa. But please, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you so much.
If you're exploring residency or citizenship options, scan the QR code or visit nomadag.com to learn more.